So
Yes.
this is a quick, I mean, let's do a quick sort of a quick view of this. This is, you may or may not be aware, some of you might be aware, we've been working in ITSM on the calendar view and the console view. So obviously, you know, with Smart IT, we've one of the things that we have still got is a fairly hard-coded dashboard and a fairly rigid calendar structure. You seeing it okay still?
Yes.
Cool. So there's two components here that are now in beta, and they're coming as part of the next release very shortly. So what you're looking at here is a new innovation suite based calendar. So what are some headlines about this? Firstly, it's mobile ready. It runs as a web application, so it will scale to mobile very easily. In fact, I think what I should be able to do is, if you excuse the advertising, because I've got this on free mode, we can actually show that, you know, this is now available. It sort of switches to this card view on mobile. So, you know, not perfect, but much better than trying to run the mobile view in a you know, to run the old Smart IT dashboard in a mobile view. Sorry, the old console. The other thing to bear in mind with this is that it's highly tailorable. So because it's built in IS, you can customize it extensively. The filtering is much better. We have a much better set of filters, and we are adding a kind of a Boolean search query as well in a subsequent release. So yeah, I mean, in general, this is just something to be aware of. It makes it a much more editable, customizable thing. You know, we can add columns very, very easily. And we're also doing a lot of in-row actions on this. So we will be, you know, for example, if we have multiple selections like the kind of current hard-coded Smart IT calendar, you can do bulk actions, but this is going to be much more flexible to new bulk actions as well. So in general, it's kind of similar to what, you know, functionally to what we already have, but with better filtering, more customizability. It's got the export function. Try as we might, we cannot get away from users' desire to throw things into spreadsheets. I think every business system somehow, you know, ends up competing with Excel and losing on what Excel does well. So easy to export from here as well. We can export to a CSV file. Okay, so this is kind of, as I say, this is coming soon. And the other thing about this is, because it's an IS component, it's part of BMC Helix platform. Essentially, it's going to be the same design across multiple modules. So if you're working with business workflows or anything else down the line, the same calendar, so the same structure will be used for console. Okay. The other thing that's coming is a big update to the calendar. Most of the data in this is kind of February, so I'm going to come back a little bit and come back to February, and we'll start with a month view. So firstly, let me talk about some of the design rationale here. As you're probably familiar, the existing Smart IT calendar, I kind of describe it as being like a skeuomorphic representation of a desk calendar. Most business systems, again, historically, have just tried to replicate paper, right? That's my contention. So, you know, with Smart IT, we tried to move record forms away from, you know, looking like your big mid-tier, like the mid-tier view where everything was on the screen. It's kind of like your tax form with a save button, and we tried to optimize that more. With the calendar view, of course, you know, that was all like a horizontal grid monthly desk calendar. The trouble with that is, especially as we move into kind of DevOps era, we're expecting to see more changes. So we'll see the whole paradigm of Agile is to do more frequently, smaller. And so one thing that happens is, once you start stacking up a lot of changes at the same time, that calendar just gets overwhelmed very quickly. Whereas a design like this, based on Gantt, is effectively, you know, infinitely addable to. You just, all that's going to happen if you have a large number of parallel changes is they're just going to be stacked up more vertically, and you can scroll down them. So that's one thing we wanted to solve there. And I mean, we have, you know, month, day, week views. So, you know, all the things a calendar will do, it just uses this Gantt type format. You can click one of these to jump straight to, you know, align that record with the left edge there. We can also collapse this for a better view of the records in total. So first point is major design change, but hopefully pretty intuitive. If I click on one of these red boxes, by the way, indicate a change collision. So right now we just highlight there is a collision. You would then go into the change ticket, which in the actual final, I'll be able to do open a new tab. On this beta version, you can't. So I'm not going to start doing that because it's going to leap away from the screen. All this does is open the change ticket. We also have a much better set of filters. So one of the biggest drawbacks of the Smart IT calendar was, again, it's pretty hard coded, it's rigid, it doesn't have enough filters. And so that was always a pain. We've always had customers rightly highlight that. So again, with this, again, based on Innovation Suite, and it's got much better filtering. Again, this is a beta environment, so we a little short on data in here, I think. Oh, it's a service management is a service. There we go. So I can filter by service management and just filter to things related to that service. But there's also, you know, lots and lots of other out-of-box filters, much more than before. Okay, so if I wanted to show, you know, high risk ones, I could select those risk levels and filter by that, for example. Once again, there's an export. We can export the whole calendar to a CSV, or we can export to an invite file to import into a calendar like Outlook or whatever, Google Calendar, whatever you might use. Okay, so once again, this is coming. It's in beta right now. If you want, drop me a line. We can get you access to the beta environment, subject to signing the usual beta agreement. But yeah, hopefully something quite exciting for users. So this is kind of it's actually in the GA product, but kind of hidden away right now, and we're making some further enhancements and then, you know, releasing this in a bigger way. And you know, it's going to be very much optimized in the probably 23.3 release, but available in 22.4.06. I think is the one it's coming out in for everyone to use. Okay, so sorry, this was a quick session, but hopefully, you know, I've shown you a couple of things which.
So could I ask you one question, John?
Go for it.
This looks awesome. And it may not be coming in this release, but is there going to be a point in time where if I have a custom form, like we do a separate custom form for our activities? Yeah. Will we be able to add that to the calendar?
Yeah, there should be no issue for that. I mean, at the moment, we've only got several different record types on here, but more than the current calendar, you know, so you can show, for example, if we just want to show business events, we can do that. Sorry, I'm doing the wrong thing. If I just apply that, I'm not sure if we've got any business events. Yes. So that gives an idea. You know, we've been able to add more ticket types ourselves, and what the devs tell me is it's quite easy to add new ones, relatively speaking. When a developer tells a product manager something's quite straightforward, they really mean it, because normally it's product managers saying to developers, "Hey, that must be easy." So yeah, that absolutely is something that I expect you to be able to do. I mean, it's just, as I say, it's IS, it's built in a way that you can extend it yourself. So if you want to get into the technicalities of that, I'm probably not the best person, but we can certainly line that conversation up.
Anybody else got a question for John before he runs? I'm gonna say that is really cool, John. I like it.
Okay. Yeah, punchy to the point. Sorry for the mix-up. As I say, I got to admit, you know, you're probably familiar. You know, Peter is not with our team anymore, so for the last few weeks, we picked up a little extra work amongst each of us. So I think I should have just created the invite myself. So sorry about that, folks. Next time I'll give you a longer session. That's a promise.
Yeah, just a little bit of extra work, right, John? Just a little bit.
It's yeah. I like my job.
As long as Peter's
I like my job. There's just a lot of it right now.
Yeah. But as long as Peter's been around, I'm sure it was a lot more than a little bit.
Yeah, but I mean, you know, I've been around a long time too.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, I want to make sure. I'm joking, really. I want to make sure everyone's sort of aware. You know, you know, it's business as usual with us. So you know, just if you had any conversations that were ongoing that you want to kind of pick up with me, please go ahead.
Gotcha.
Okay.
John, thank you so much for presenting. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Hey, no worries. Yeah, I'm glad you. I'm glad you're all still here for me to talk to. Okay, so with that, I will have to drop though, folks. So I will see you on the next session. And